Hello again, and welcome to my talk for this week. It's good to see you, and it's good to be here. When I was a child, I had a kaleidoscope. It looked like a telescope, but when I put it up to my eye, instead of seeing the stars, there were hundreds of pieces of plastic at the end, which formed a pattern. The bottom section could be turned, and the patterns shifted. In theory, at least, no two were ever the same. At present, on so many levels, it feels as if many things are shifting, just as they did in my childhood toy. At a personal level, for me, there are many changes, especially with my mother being ravaged by dementia, so that she's not the same from one day to the next. In the world at large, there is the continuing uncertainty of COVID-19. Things seem to be calming down, but now perhaps we're in the second wave. Allied to this is the global political insecurity, with new conflicts and arguments seemingly emerging every day. For many of us, our family, friends, or neighbours are facing economic uncertainty because of the effects of the pandemic. In the midst of all this, it's easy to become discouraged and to think that nothing will ever be normal again. One of the things we learn from the Bible, and very seldom apply in our lives, is the idea of lament. What I don't mean by this is the idea of complaint. Lament is very intentional, and it's an interrogation of God about the situation in which we find ourselves. It might be that we tell God the reasons why we dislike the position we're in. On the other hand, we can ask the question, why? Lament is basically letting God know our feelings about situations, about ourselves, and about Him. The other side of this that we see in Scripture is that we also have to wait after the lament in anticipation of God's response. The classic case is in the book of Job. After Job lays out his feelings, God's response is basically, "Where were you when I created the heavens and the earth?" Ultimately, this leads Job not to curse God, but rather to trust despite everything. And God says of him, Job has told the truth. Job 42:8. Often, being followers of Jesus means we have to live without things being resolved to our satisfaction. There's a need to trust God that the work of God through Jesus on the cross and in the resurrection will see justice done and the rule of God fully established. One day, my kaleidoscope became fixed in a beautiful pattern and never moved again. Ultimately, the beauty, peace, and justice of God will form the new heaven and the new earth, and all will be well. So once again, thank you for being here. I hope that you have a good week, and that we'll see you next week. So, God bless, and stay safe.